story about a young guy in a village in Malawi who built a wind turbine to save his village from drought, essentially. So the idea was exposure to education. He read books in the school's library, essentially. He came up with this brilliant idea. Global Teacher is all about facilitating access and exposure to education. And I'm telling you a little bit about my story, the lessons that I learned from my granddad, essentially. Say please and thank you, hold the door for others. And I think what he was saying in that moment is reach out a hand. Don't forget that there's other people walking this earth, like kind of look out for others. Fast forward to final year or the final days of South Moor School. I went to sixth form and failed miserably. Anyway, I picked myself back up and I came to Bede. Bede was my lifeline, how I was going to get to university. And I chose business, psychology, IT subjects that I enjoyed, really. And I thought if I enjoy them, at least I can get through them and I can get onto university. So I filled in my UCAS form. And whilst I loved Sunderland, really passionate about Sunderland, I also was aware of this course, which at the time was called Design Engineering, now called Product Design Engineering at Manchester. So I left Sunderland, went to Manchester, lived there for 3 years, had the most amazing time. This is my final year, so this is my student room in my final year. You see the Sunderland flag there. So this is me doing my sketching for product design and whatnot. And whilst I'd had many good kind of mentors and, learned good lessons as a child about reaching out a hand to others, I also, at this moment, realised it was important to reach out a hand to yourself because I was suffering quite badly with my own mental health internally. So I was waking up every day, I was actually sat in this room when it used to be the old room, and there was a talk about well-being and if you struggle and mention something, I didn't have the bottle to say anything really. I was totally scared and trapped in anxiety from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. So as a problem solver, I thought, what am I going to do? I was terrified to speak to anyone about it, literally. I thought, I'm in Manchester, I'd have to get the bus to see a therapist. Probably won't help. So anyway, someone recommended this book, The Power of Now. So I read that book, started to open my mind to new ways of thinking and maybe how I could deal with or maybe heal this thing that I was suffering. And I started to meditate. I downloaded the Headspace app, and with this newfound clarity that I was glimpsing, I was getting more inspiration, let's say. So I made a vision board. So I went back on my phone and I found this on that day, 15th of September 2016. So I've got things, treat my mum more because I was missing my mum, go to Coachella, help people make a change, try to take an innovative idea to market, or cut down on takeaways. So this is where I fell in love with my passion, which was coming up with ideas, and not just any ideas that I believe could change the world. As third-year students, design engineers, we were tasked with choosing a subject area of your choice, finding a problem within that area and designing a solution. I chose to study education in the developing world. And what I found was 15% of the world's adults are illiterate. So it became, okay, so why is it that almost a billion people can't read or write in the 21st century? And it turns out there's many barriers to education. So UNESCO said that 50% of the world's schools don't have internet, and over 1 billion people have no access to electricity. And in Cameroon, one textbook is shared between 12 children. Clearly, this is not a feasible way to learn. So I thought, okay, here's a bit of a problem. No internet, no electricity, no education. The current solution to that problem is ship and used textbooks. So boxing up used textbooks, as you say here, this is an organization called Books to Africa. They box up used textbooks, put them in a shipping container and literally ship them around halfway around the world to Africa. But the problem with that is it's very time intensive. It can take 6 months to get there. It's very costly to fund a shipment. The price of a container is doubled. Typically in hotter climates, books become worn, and not to mention the second-hand textbooks are often culturally inappropriate, not on the right language, or they're out of date. My big question was this at university. I was wandering around, running the shower. I'll never forget the moment. I thought, why can't you donate digitally instead of putting all these textbooks in the container? Why can't we donate a PDF or Word document, PowerPoint? Think about it. You can donate money, clothing, food, or laptop, textbooks. Why can't you donate a digital file? At this point, I thought I solved the problem. I was like, right, this is my genius idea. But what about in the most rural school where there's literally 4 walls and a chalkboard, no internet, no electricity? How do you get that donated digital education? Introducing the world's first solar-powered classroom kit that aims to bring leading digital education to hardest to reach parts of the world. So basically, POD is the hardware, Lumi is the software. So when you turn POD on, it would project a screen similar to this and give you access to software. here's some of the parts you see here: solar panel, battery pack, projector, classroom projector using a Raspberry Pi, wireless remote, SD card, and a carry case. So that's the kit. This is me and one of my mentors. We launched it in the Beam, in the Bork site. The idea is it's fun, it's friendly, it's engaging, and it's supposed to be the centerpiece of a classroom. When Steve Jobs launched the iPod, he said 2,000 songs in your pocket. Well, this is a library in your backpack. The software, it's got thousands of offline learning materials on, so they're basically preloaded on to the memory on there, so that you don't need internet when you're in the rural setting. So thousands of offline resources, as I said, putting the best quality education in the hands of the hardest to reach. So how we do that, originally it was about teachers donating individual resources, but now we partner with some of the world's biggest content providers and get access to their content, put it on the system, and make it available for those in need. Here's some examples of it being used in a learning environment. I suppose the relevance to this area, and we're all I suppose, involved in this in some way, Hartlepool, Northumberland, Sunderland, because we're part of the Northeast hub, and we're big shipbuilders of the past, so old industrial manufacturing methods, massive sheets of metal, riveting and all that type of stuff. Well, now that's our vision, is to replace that and to reignite that maker heritage and spirit in the form of modern methods of manufacture, and ship product from Sunderland all the way around the world, ultimately to give 1 million people access to education. So this is the Global Teacher Project, which I'm going to break down for you now. So if one kit gives 500 students access to education over its lifetime, say 5 years, 100 students a year, it's a rough estimate, quite modest estimate, then 2,000 kits is 1 million. So that's the breakdown of how we do it. So then I've done a quick plan of the project here, which if the 3 colleges club together and fundraise for 1 unit, then that's great. If they do 1 unit each, that's great. It's kind of an open project. We've briefly planned it together with the staff, but it's kind of a bit over to you guys, really. However, if you want to work together, if you want to have a little bit of a college versus college. So what's in the kit? What exactly are you sponsoring? You need to really know that, I suppose. So solar panel, battery pack, as I've already mentioned, smart projector, remote, carry case. We provide a screen, so it goes up on the wall. The offline software, a memory card, the learning material we source and put on. So it's every time we deploy a kit, it has to have language, culture, and curriculum appropriate learning material for that deployment. Otherwise, it won't be effective. Then we deliver the kit, we train the staff on how to use it, train the partners on how to train their staff as well, maintain if anything breaks, and then we produce an impact report. So we tell all of you guys and all of the staff, how many people are educated, what feedback they've got, what people liked, what people didn't like. Did it allow another William to come up with an idea and save lives potentially? All of that kind of information we gather, put in a report, and then feed it back. So just to bring you back to this, which you might have noticed in our office, this is 3D printed like wall mural, if you like. So our target's 1 million. So you guys are helping us go from basically where we started at none to get to that 1 million. All of the colleges, we're helping giving access to more and more students, marginalised, to eventually, if we ever get there, who knows, but it's a big target, but that's where we're headed. So that's what you guys are essentially helping us do. So that ultimately there's 1 million more dreamers, visionaries, and problem solvers in the world. Now before I finish, I know you didn't ask, but I thought I would leave you some advice. So my advice is simple: dream big, look after yourself, and don't forget to reach out the hand. Because the person that helps others, simply because it must or should be done and because it is the right thing to do, is without a doubt a real superhero. Thank you.